Hit me.
Soon as I get home, I'll make it up to you. Baby, I'll do.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about self-love. And usually I kind of like have a script for how I want my videos to go and like play out, but today I'm just gonna speak from the heart because that's just something I've been working on. Just being more organic and just being myself. I'm just being myself. So first I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to go into talking about self-love, what it is, what it means, and just kind of how to cultivate it, which is something that I have been working on for years. So first I just want to kind of tell you a little bit about myself. I'm kind of like one of those, I don't know if this is the word, but like enigmatic people. So like, in a sense, if I don't let you into my world, it can be very hard to get to know me, and just very hard to get close to me. And I think that I've kind of developed this personality as a way of just protecting myself, protecting my energy, protecting my peace, because if you know me, you know like I'm not the type to be involved in drama and stuff like that. And a lot of that comes from the fact that, I kind of like am very careful with what I allow the world to know about me. My business isn't just all out there, and I'm not all out there. Like, I'm very selective about the people that I let into my life, and that's just how I am. Growing up, like in my teenage years, I really didn't have a lot of self-confidence. You could definitely see that reflected through the type of guys that I used to let into my life. Like I said, like that was then, and this is now. Like now, I know who the fuck I am. That doesn't mean that I'm still not finding myself, but it just means that I had the self-confidence that people gave me by always telling me that I was pretty, by always telling me that I was smart, by always telling me that, I just seem to always have my shit together. That kind of stuff gave me confidence, but it's like I relied on that to give me the confidence. The confidence wasn't coming from within. That means that I really didn't have confidence. So, there were certain things I would do and certain things I would get involved in and certain people I would get involved with who were just like, had never had any business being in my life. But like, when you don't know who you are and you're missing pieces of yourself, you tend to do that. You tend to let anybody into your life, and those people use you, and then they leave you more broken. So basically, I just want to talk about the ways that I learned to love myself for who I am and better myself. So first thing, do not give a single fuck about what anyone thinks about you, has to say about you. You do you, you do what you gotta do, and you be yourself. When you do that, you become a very authentic person, and you attract the people that are meant to be in your life. If someone doesn't like you for who you are, they have no business being in your life. You shouldn't be putting on a front so that you can keep them, because that just means that whole relationship is fake as fuck. It's not even built off of what's real, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's built off of a persona. First thing, be who you are. If people think you're weird, who gives a fuck? Fuck them. There's gonna be other people who love your weirdness and who embrace that, and who the fuck wants to be normal anyway? My second piece of advice is to spend some time alone. Me, for a while, I was jumping to relationship, and it wasn't even like I necessarily was looking for those relationships. It was like, if someone was there, like, okay, sure, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be in a relationship. And that sounds kind of like I have no feelings, but I guess it was convenient, and in a sense I was kind of missing something, some type of like attention or whatever. So somebody wanted to give it to me, sure, why not? But then I learned it is okay to be alone. And there was a point in my teen years where I spent like 2 years just by myself, not dating, just focusing on myself. They were the best 2 years of my life. Like, I learned so much about myself. I started figuring out what type of person I was, you know, like what I wanted out of life. It was like an extremely enlightening and eye-opening time of my life for me, and kind of what brought me to be who I am. Something else happened after that that kind of took me away from that, but then something else happened that brought me back to that. So yeah, spend time alone, you know, get to know yourself. Start figuring out what it is you want out of life. Start figuring out, what do you really care about? What are you really interested in? What kind of mark do you want to leave on this world? What kind of influence do you want to have on people? And that will tell you so much about yourself and the world around you. And you know, it'll shape your perspective on the world, and then therefore allow you to go out into the world and be who you were meant to be. What's then going to come after those 2 steps that I just talked about is going to be a sense of self-respect. I have struggled with this a lot, self-respect for myself, because I'm the type of person who will give and give and give and give and give and give until I have no more. And that's kind of like a good and a bad thing, mostly bad, especially in today's world, because people love to take advantage of that. People see that, you know, be more specific, boys see that shit and then take advantage of it. So I guess just figuring out like what it is you're giving to, like, you know, since I'm the type of person who loves to give and give and give, you know, I started aligning myself with like volunteering. Like, you know, just to give an example, this was probably like, I've done a lot of volunteering. Like, I'm the type of person who is going to ultimately go out into the world and do something great in terms of like giving my time. But that's for another video. That's kind of like something that I want to do later on in my career. So like, yeah, I know that I have like this gene of like just loving to give. So I kind of started to give it some direction. Instead of like pouring it into people or like boys, I started pouring it into people who really needed it. So like, one of my favorite things that I've done is work with Habitat for Humanity. Like, it is just such a beautiful experience to get to build a home for someone who needs it. You know, it's people who appreciate it. They're not taking advantage of you because you're giving. They're so appreciative of the fact that you are giving. And you know, I think that's the kind of, you know, place your energy deserves to go if you're the type of person who loves to give. Like, find something worth giving to, you know? Don't just pour it into people who don't deserve it. That's where like a lack of self-respect kind of plays in. Not necessarily because you don't love yourself, but because you just tend to love other people more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you tend to give other people more importance over yourself, which is a lack of self-love, but I think it's more like just being way too fucking selfless. And you know, there are worse things that I could be, but it's just learning to control it and making sure that you're not out here getting taken advantage of. You know, you need to fucking demand respect from people. So for me, that's definitely something that I've been working on. Like, it is okay to take up space. It is okay to demand respect from people. You need to demand respect from people. You need to make sure that people are not just taking advantage of you, because it will leak into so many other areas of your life, not just your love life. It will leak into your professional career, and it will affect the way that people see you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of ruins a lot of things for you when people realize that, you know, they can pretty much get anything out of you. So that is another part of self-love. Self-respect. People are out here taking advantage of you and you feel bad for putting yourself first? No. So yeah, this video is really rambly and it's going on 20 minutes, so I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to be coming out with more little videos like this, just talking about life and the things that we go through, because I just feel like I have a lot to say, and I've been too worried about what people would think to say them. No more of that. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that. Thank you for watching today's video.